eye contact, body language, and that how you discuss businesses and then convince each other as well ขอบคุณทุกคนนะคะที่มาจอย Trial Class ด้วยกันนะคะหลายๆท่านเปลี่ยนชื่อเล่นให้แล้วก็ขอบคุณมากๆเลยนะคะแต่ใครที่ยังไม่ได้ใส่ชื่อเล่นและตามด้วยชื่อจริงเดี๋ยวรบกวนเปลี่ยนชื่อให้แพตตี้ด้วยค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ สำหรับใครที่เข้ามาใน trial class แล้วนะคะเดี๋ยวคลาสจะเริ่มนะคะประมาณ1 ทุ่มนะคะ Alright, that is a good quick warm up. Let's get started very soon. First of all, please change your name to something that our lecturer can say easily. Could you please use your nickname and put your first name at the end?
สวัสดีครับ sorry นะครับnormally I didn't use for the team like this version can you suggest me how to the change the name ครับ
อะไรนะคะ
how to change the name ครับ where is the
อ๋อโอเค
sorry ครับ
เข้าไปที่ชื่อตัวเองคลิกเข้าไปที่ชื่อตัวเองอะค่ะ participant มีไหมแล้วก็คลิกขวาแล้วเขาจะมี rename ค่ะ ได้ไหมคะ อาจจะเข้าไปตรงที่ participant แล้วก็เข้าไปที่ชื่อตัวเองค่ะ พอที่ชื่อตัวเองปุ๊บ ขวามือสุดจะมีจุด3 จุด คลิกไปตรงนั้นจะมีปุ่มให้เรา rename ค่ะ ขอบคุณนะคะ
thank you ครับ
โอเคค่ะ It is now time so let's watch the video before we beginning the trial classสวัสดีทุกคนอย่างเป็นทางการนะคะแพตตี้นะคะวันนี้ก็ขอต้อนรับทุกคนนะคะเข้าสู่ Essential of Finance Trial Class ค่ะ Hello guys my name is Patty I'm an advisor together with Machiko What do we do as an advisor? You can talk to us about what kind of courses you should take to gain the right skill for your job. Also, if you are interested in MBA, you can discuss with us about our university if you wish to gain the long-term career upgrade. Finally, our university DNA is that MBA is just a tool, but you must find your purpose to become an impactful leader. So please feel free to talk to us about your passion and life goal as well. Usually in today's trial class is interactive that you can discuss and speak up freely. If you want to speak up, please raise your Zoom hand. Just for a practice, can everyone show me your Zoom hand? ทุกคนรู้ไหมคะว่าถ้าวันนี้เราอยากจะ zoom hand virtual zoom hand in the yes something like magical show thank you Timmy ใครที่ไม่รู้ว่าปุ่มอยู่ตรงไหนนะคะกดเข้าไปมันจะอยู่ตรงปุ่ม reaction ค่ะขอบคุณคุณเคนค่ะวันนี้มีหลายเคนเลย ขอบคุณค่ะโอเคขอบคุณคุณเจมส์ค่ะขอบคุณคุณรินด้วยค่ะ If you are on mobile, you can click on more and hit raise hand. Not only by voice that you can participate in today's trial, you can also use the chat as well. As a warm up, can I ask everyone to introduce yourself to each other in chat? อยากให้ทุกคนแนะนำตัวกันหน่อยค่ะ Let me start by let's do our name, our industry, and what we do like this. ระหว่างนี้ให้ทุกคนนะคะแนะนำตัวเองค่ะแล้วก็แนะนำว่าตอนนี้เราทำงานใน in area ไหนใน industry ไหนนะคะแล้วก็ส่งเข้ามาในช่องทางแชทค่ะ Something like, Hello, my name is Patty. I am in education and I am an advisor. อยากให้ทุกคนนะคะแนะนำตัวกันเข้ามาในช่องทางแชทนะคะ Students learn a lot from each other, so by knowing your background, your classmate can understand your comments better, and they also know what industrial knowledge and expertise you can bring to the discussion. อยากให้ทุกคนแนะนำตัวนะคะ เพราะว่าวันนี้ตอนที่เดี๋ยวเราดิสคัสกันเนี่ยเพื่อนจะได้เข้าใจในสิ่งที่เราคอมเมนต์เนี่ยได้อย่างชัดเจนมากยิ่งขึ้นถ้าเขารู้ว่าเราอยู่ในแบบอินดัสทรีไหนค่ะระหว่างที่แพตตี้พูดอยู่ขอบคุณคุณเคนสรัตน์นะคะ ว้าว marketing in medical device let's see ขอบคุณคุณเบนซ์ค่ะ ระหว่างนี้ทุกคน introduce yourself in chat ได้เลยนะคะ thank you and don't forget to change your name to something that our lecturer can say easily, beginning with your nickname and followed by your first name. That would be great. Today's agenda, I will introduce a bit about who we are. Maybe your first time knowing Globis, and then we will go into our essential finance class and finish with more information about our program. We will stay behind for a Q&A. So you have anything to ask, you can hang around after the event. GLOBIS Corporation has our headquarters in Tokyo. We were founded by an entrepreneur called Mr. Yoshito Hori. We believe that leaders are the one who create and innovate the society. So our mission is to support this entrepreneur through a business ecosystem of people, capital, and knowledge. For knowledge, we offer both English and Japanese MBA as our university. People, we are one of the largest corporate training company in Japan, educated over 1 million business professionals in leading corporations. Capital, we have Japan's successful venture capital arms. That is why we are the largest business school in Japan. We have more than 10,000 students and alumni, 12 campuses around the world, and our venture capital supporting more than 100 of IPOs. If you are also interested in MBA, you may know that MBA curriculum anywhere is about managing your strategy, people, and money. But Globis MBA goes beyond that. We have have a curated curriculum not only cover this essential but also emphasizes technovate and kokorosaki, all delivered with a strong focus on practically application to shape you into an impactful leader. In today's trial class, you will get a glimpse of our practically approach through the case method. Globis classes are led by seasoned professionals who teach from real-world experience. You will be at the center of the learning process with your thinking challenged and expanded through stimulating discussion. First, focus is Technovate, a cost track focused on technology and innovation. You will learn how to lead in an era of disruption by understand the application of, for example, robotic AI data in business. However, skill alone are not enough to drive through challenges and adversity. Therefore, at the heart of our curriculum, this Japanese philosophy defines our DNA, is red Hokorosashi, which is translated in English, the personal mission. The personal mission is what you want to um, spend your life working for. It's combine your passion, your skill, and what kind of positive impact you want to bring to the society. Because MBA is just a tool, but a leader conviction, this kokorosashi is what Globis wants you to discover through your MBA. Through Globis MBA curriculum, you can learn about the conventional business foundation and also tailor your MBA to dive deep into business creation, global businesses, and technology management, and to find your purpose in your life and career. We offer two MBA programs at Globis. One is the full-time MBA program where you go to Tokyo and study as an exchange student for 1 year. You can get an internship and job search support with our career office with this program. Another is part-time online MBA, where you study MBA live online while working in Thailand. Classes are held on weeknights or weekend, flexible for busy professional. There is more information about GLOBIS MBA curriculum, admission, and scholarship. So if you have any question, I will be happy to support you today and in the future. Next, I would like to pass back to Magico to talk about the pre-MBA program where you can take class on site in Thailand.
Thank you, Party, for having me. Please allow me to share about the one course of pre-MBA program because MBA is a big decision for you, but you can start from one course from which called the pre-MBA here in Thailand. So let me explain about a little bit about the overview. Okay. So you can start small one courses from now and apply knowledge in your working, and then I earn an MBA degree in the future. I'm Machiko, and I'm also actually learning as an MBA student here in Globis University right now. So I am learning online, and I studied from this pre-MBA course as a small step. It will be really helpful for me to ease the workload after I joining the MBA. So what is pre-MBA program in Thailand? So pre-MBA program um, here is same curriculum as Globis University. So whatever the professionals in Japan can learn, we can have the same experience right here in Thailand with the same learnings and the same lectures. So in the January, next upcoming class will start January to March. We'll be offering the Essential of Finance pre-MBA program, which is what you can experience in today's trial class. Okay, so this is a MBA curriculum of our university, and the essential of finance is here in the fundamental courses. And it's because it's the real MBA course means you can actually get the MBA credit, and whatever pre-MBA that you take in Thailand, the credit can be transferred to the future MBA programs at Globis. So as well as the paid tuition fee that can be deducted later from the MBA program fee as well. So now is a good timing for you. Our program will start fall every year. So next timing we will fall in 2026. And you can start from pre-MBA program in Thailand and then gain that credit. And if you feel like it's fit for you, now you can join our MBA program next year. Okay, Globis Thailand brought this course from Japan with many special features. So let me go over this a bit. First, we know as our practicality, we use 100% case study at Globis. So you will be presented with real business cases that happened in the past. There, you will put yourself in the shoes of the decision maker, like manager or CEO, and think about what to do with that dilemma. So this is how you exponentially grow through the learning cycle of Globis. There are different ways you can learn and develop your skills from watching videos or reading a books or listening to podcasts, but the learning at Globis is different. So you can learn, you are required to show output and gain feedback from classmates and lecturers and reflect your own strengths and areas of improvement. So this is the overview of the real class of January. Pre-MBA classes will start 24 January, and it will last 3 months, 6 days bi-weekly. Lastly, a little bit irregular schedule on day 6, it will be held on Sunday. But we will have online class and also hybrid class in Thailand. So day 1, day 2, day 4, day 5 will be held online. And day 3 and day 6, we will experience both are hybrid. So you can choose either online or on-site in Bangkok. And aside from class, there are a variety of extracurricular activities such as study sessions or networking or field trip with other cohorts and a visiting company, etc. We have already around 100 students and alumni who join our GLOBIS MBA from Thailand, and many more at Tokyo and our global hub, Singapore, USA, EU, and of course, including Japan. So with just one course, you can tap into our extensive community in Thailand and also other parts of the world, connect to in person and virtually. Okay. The course fee will be this, but we will apply 30% cost fee discounts right now, so exempt also enrollment fee as well. And you will be gained a certification after you finish our course. And this is announcement. Lastly, there is a gift from us to you, the Kokorozashi, which Patty mentioned before, the ebook. We will have a gift for you if you including our MBA alumni stories. So you can just send a I joined today event via our line. So please scan the QR code and add our line from now. Okay, so now it's time to move on to our trial class. So today is just a trial class. Maybe in a discussion there are many people more than the actual class, but you have a more deeper discussion with preparation. We will have a pre-assignment every time in the class. So and please expect more smaller groups in real settings. All right. Then now we move on to today's trial class, and I would like to introduce our lecturer, Dean of Globis University, Satoshi-san. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Sawadee krap. My name is Satoshi. I am the Dean of GLOBIS University. Let me show you my screen so that we can start the presentation. Okay. I hope now it is slideshow. So let's get started. First of all, I really appreciate everyone coming today. It is Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock at your time. Usually you should have been having some dinner, but thank you for allocating your time to have attend this very interesting opportunity. If I may start introducing about myself, my name is Satoshi. Some people in Thailand call me Punya. Maybe that's the meaning of Satoshi, a person with, in a word, it's a wisdom, but Panya. So you may call me Panya if you want. I am currently serving as a Dean of GLOBIS English MBA program. But before that, I have about 30 years of business experience, which half of them are as an executive of companies in the United States or in Japan. And recently, I was the COO of the largest call center company, BPO call center company in Japan, which was acquired by Bain Capital. Bain Capital, the largest private equity firm, asked me to join as the COO to completely turn around the company. And successfully, in 5 years, the stock price went 4 times, and we exited very happily, and now I am at GLOBIS. If I may explain one thing about my career. Really, my career changed after I took MBA. Unfortunately, it was before GLOBIS MBA has been started. So I went to MBA school in United States. But with that, I think I learned many basic skills in the MBA, and my career completely changed. After that, I worked with 17 CEOs as a management consultant or as an executive of a company. And at the age of 38, I became division manager of US company. And at the year of 42, I became a corporate executive officer of a company. And since then, 18 years passed, and now I'm 60 years old, sharing my experience in the executive role. Now, if I may conclude my introduction part, one thing I really want to share with you is that GLOBIS faculties are 100% practitioners. All of our faculties have real business experience. They know about theory, but they also know how to apply the theory, which you cannot always learn from academicians. Very clear. And those who run as CXOs of various companies are teaching you help how to apply the theories into practice. That is one of our great uniqueness, and hope that is something that will be valuable to all of you. Now, let's gradually dive into the topic for today. And the topic is finance, but I would like to also include accounting a little bit so that we can learn about numbers. Now, I would like to ask one question. Why do we have to learn accounting and finance? Or more generally, why do we need to use numbers? Please briefly type in by chat in Zoom function. Why do we have to learn accounting and finance? And why do we need to learn how to use numbers in business? This question, nothing wrong, completely everything is okay. Please share any kind of thoughts. That would be really appreciated. Okay. Excellent. Ken Sarach. Excellent. Okay, who next? Amol. This gives a clear idea of performance of organization in terms of profit and loss. Wow, you directly go to the accounting world. Thank you. Any other people? Okay, when other people are writing, maybe good to have Ken Sarach. Can you unmute yourself and share what you wrote? And other members, you can also type in. Thank you.
Well, okay. Hi, nice to meet you all. So I'm Ken Sarat from Thailand. As the question is why do we have to learn the accounting and finance? Even I'm not keen on for the number thing as a marketing. Actually, it should be because for like a return of investment that I should relate it. That the one thing that management always consider like what is the situation now? Even we have a high revenue, but if we lost, it's meaningless. So that we can learn like what is the situation now and what we should do next. Like should we increase the revenue or reduce the cost, or what should we do next? So that management can see the situation and make a decision that I consider.
Excellent, Ken. Thank you very much. Now, while other members are also thinking, and for those who already wrote, you can also think and write down why number is important. Why number is important as well. You can ask about this, why we need to learn accounting and finance, or why number is important. You may also type in your thoughts as well. During that, Amol, you can unmute yourself, and would you kindly elaborate what you wrote in the chat, please? Thank you.
Okay. Means in terms of views, I have a total of like 23 years of operational experience. So I was always on the other side of those numbers, how to achieve those numbers. But now I am going to set the numbers. So that's why I need to understand how that related to the operation of performance of the organization. So that's why I think it is important for me to learn the finance and the accounting side of numbers.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Now, if I may correctly explain, Mark Grigil, I apologize if I may translate wrong, but you wrote about very important topic as well. Can you also share with us by unmuting yourself, please? Mark, can you unmute yourself, if possible? If difficult, it's okay. Any other people?
Well, I'm not an accountant,
Sure.
and but I have owned a business before, and the numbers dictate the overall health of your company.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what's going on in the background, then you're basically possibly headed for disaster.
Thank you, Mark. If I may ask you one more question to you, Mark. Why you can't do that by language, by words? What is the difference between words and numbers?
Because math is the universal, mathematics and numbers is the universal language that can be understood everywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
2 plus 2 equals 4 everywhere in the world.
Okay, so the universality is the universal is the importance in terms of numbers. Thank you very much, Mark. Excellent. Thank you. Boat, would you kindly also share your thoughts by unmuting yourself? Thank you.
Hi, hello. Well, as my understanding is like, well, business runs on numbers. So, by understanding numbers, then we can like operate business more efficiently and like using understanding to actually, driving the business instead of feeling or like something else, something like that. And I think finance, to my understanding, because I'm a software engineer, I don't have background in finance or accounting, but to my understanding is that finance like help you to correctly prioritize the finite pool of resources, maybe cash or something like that. And accounting is basically keeping track of what is what is going on as a result, something like that.
Thank you very much, both. Excellent, excellent point. So if I may use my own words, it will be by quantitatively express the value of a company or business, we can learn how to quantitatively express the value of a company or business and acquire the basic skills to make rational decisions. So by exactly what Mark mentioned, number is a universal language. And also, it is more very objective, rational. We can do some rational decision because more it is objective. In a word, we can say big, large, great, super, but in the numbers, we can make it very precise, show the impact, magnitude by utilizing the word called numbers. So the point is, what is rational decision? Why rational decision is important? And why rational decision is important in business is something that we also need to think about. There is no right answer or wrong answer on this topic. But if I may use my words here, is that, well, company should be if the company's architecture, if we draw a company's architecture, it could be written one way to write down is like this. You have a corporate mission, and to realize this corporate mission, there should be a vision of a company. And to realize the vision of the company, there should be a corporate strategy. And to realize this corporate strategy, they are the area like marketing, HR, or operations, or like R&D, or IT, or rules. But all of them need some allocation of resources. And all of those resources or prioritization are being calculated or objectively observed by the word called numbers in the world by utilizing the skill set you can use by the what you can learn from finance or accounting. Now, with that, what kind of value does number provide? Is, in my personal opinion, by utilizing the numbers, you can understand the feasibility, whether this is realistic or not, by utilizing the word called numbers. Also, you can clarify the impact, magnitude of the activities. That is also which not the word, alphabetical word, but the numbers can help you make that happen. Finally, it will also help you compare. If you have different options, you can compare with the magnitude and identify the priority by using the word called numbers. And ultimately, accounting or finance are helping you making decisions associated with corporate activities by utilizing the word called numbers. So if I follow this discussion, in my definition, accounting is a tool that enables users to understand the characteristics of a companies by using a common yardstick. And finance is a tool to make go decisions or no-go decisions on investments and M&A through calculating the value of a company or business. This is not something in the textbook, but from the practical business experience point of view or a business application point of view. These are, in my word, the value of accounting, the value of finance. By utilizing accounting, you can understand the characteristics of the company. By utilizing finance, you can decide whether to go or no go in the investment activities. That is what finance and accounting will help you make happen. And that is what you are going to learn at GLOBIS MBA in the finance class or accounting class. In usual universities accounting class, you start from the definition of general ledger. We do not, because that is only a method. We need to think about the objective. And that is how GLOBIS teaches accounting and finance. Now, with all being said, if I may summarize this discussion a little bit further, accounting is evaluating and assessing about the past performance by the usage of book value, which I will be teaching this in the class, no worries. The finance will be, if you compare, comparatively speaking, will be thinking about the future. Future decision making is actually connected with finance. Yes, there are some of the exceptions, but in fundamentally, these are the importance of accounting and finance. And accounting is a common evaluation yardstick, while finance is a tool for managerial decisions. And that is why in the January term, we are studying finance, because this is a very essential tool to make a decision whether to go or no go on the investment decisions or M&A decisions. And that is why I believe it is very important for you to learn about finance in my class in January. Now, let me a little bit touch on the area of accounting, because sometimes in order to study finance, we need some minimum level of understanding of accounting, and I want to do that for today. As I mentioned, accounting is unveiling the company's unique identity, and I would like to show you like that. Now, there are three types of financial statements. Number one is what we call profit and loss statements. Number two is balance sheet. Number three is cash flow statement. Now, I know that it is too early for you, so let me use my own analogy. Profit and loss statement is just like a grade book, which we all of us are pretty much accustomed to. There's a defined period of time, and during that defined period of time, did you perform good or bad compared with other companies? You might get A plus, you might get B, B minus. These are exactly what profit and loss statement is for the company. Balance sheet is something like a health checklist, which lets you know that Satoshi, you are a little bit fat than you should be like, or Ken, you are in excellent situation in your health. So let's keep going. These kind of message of a specific time, usually the end of the fiscal year, at one time, how is your body situation as a company can be explained during this balance sheet. Finally, cash flow statement is something very unique, which is just like a blood flow test chart And it actually shows that whether your body is really working well, and it is a very good indicator for you to understand what will happen in the future as well. These are the 3 statement characteristics. We will be learning about these, how to read them, and how to interpret the company situation by learning about these 3 statements. Now, GLOBIS is always a place to really think and let you do some discussion with a kind of a game or quiz situation. So let's do it like it today. So let's do some kind of exercise. Who am I in the IT digital electronics industry, and why do you think so? So I am going to show you data of 2 companies which are both in IT or digital electronics industry, IT or digital electronics industry. And I would like you to guess what company we are talking about. Okay, so let's do like this. Who am I in the IT digital electronics industry? Company A, profit and loss statement. This is very difficult, so let me give you some hints. Sales reached a record high of $308 billion. Everyone, how much is $308 billion? This is an enormous big number, right? The operating profit margin was 27.4%. Usually it's about 5% to 10%, but profitability is gigantic. It's generating big money. And out of that, 14.8% of sales are allocated to R&D. What does this mean? This company has an extremely high profit margin, extremely large, and 14.8% is going to R&D. Usually it's about 4%, 3-4 times of big investment on IT investment. Okay. Now, second one is balance sheet. Total asset increased by 10.2% from last year, and 27.6% of this is cash or marketable assets. So I don't go too much. No worries, don't read too much. It says plenty of room for further large-scale investment in such as M&A. This company increasing and have abundant amount of cash, so it is easily available to go to M&A. Big, profitable, big investment, great opportunity for M&A. This is the nature of this company. Now, cash flow statement. In 1 year, $102 billion generated by operating activities. How are they used? It is invested in AI or data centers in $32 billion. $32 billion, what a big number. And also, it is going to be paid to the shareholders for $62 billion. So again, this is too mechanical, but the point is, it is generating big amount of cash and investing for the future, as well as making the shareholder very happy. What kind of company this is in the IT digital electronics company? Can anybody write some in chat? What kind of company do you think? This is something enormously big. Timmy wrote Microsoft. James wrote NVIDIA. Many people wrote NVIDIA. Rakuten is more small company, to be honest. Yeah, Microsoft, NVIDIA, very close. Actually, these kind of companies, exactly. But NVIDIA does not invest to a data center, to be honest. It invests to R&D, but not AI or not data center. So it will be a little bit different. Mark, you put Intel. Interesting, but Intel is more small, to be honest. Thank you very much, but great challenge. Can I ask one person then? Timmy, you wrote Microsoft. What makes you think it is Microsoft? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes. So recently, I've been looking around in AI, and Microsoft did invest quite a huge number into AI recently as well. And also the company goal of looking from the numbers also
Yeah.
seems to match the
Okay.
personality of Microsoft.
Excellent. Very, very extremely close. But let's go to Ken Tanapach. Tanapach, you wrote Google, actually Alphabet now. Why do you think this is Google, Alphabet?
Because invest in the all of stock in the Thai stock or the about the USA stock. So when I see is the strong profit and loss balance sheets of the cash flows is have many strong perspective to be as a Google that invest in the all of the company as in the IT or digital. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Actually, Microsoft, Google, I would like to say this is correct. Both companies are very similar, and they are focusing on AI investment as well as data center investment. Actually, those are very, very close. Actually, the answer is Alphabet, which is Google, but Microsoft very close. This is a great company at this moment. Now, let's do another one. This is a little bit difficult one. Again, this is IT or digital electronics industry. And this is more like usual company. Now, sales increased for 11.4% double digit year on year to $62.8 billion. So it's 1/5 of the company Alphabet, but still it's a $62.8 billion. But the operating profit margin decreased to 3.4% from 4.8 in previous year. This is actually regular company. So we can see how the profit margin is large in Alphabet. So it says sales are growing, profitability is suffering with a very slim profitability. Seems to be a manufacturer. Now, the balance sheet says, excuse me, this is pretty technical. Equity ratio improved by 5.5% due to a decrease in liability. So it is actually decreasing the debt, meaning that this company is reducing debt so that they can do future investment by borrowing the debt later. So they are now creating themselves to be more healthier. Finally, 2.9 billion net cash outflow due to new capital investment for the future and $3.7 billion debt repayment. So what does this mean from the cash flow is that, well, it started to invest to the future while improving financial soundness in parallel. This is not easy, but I wish somebody tried to write down what potentially which company this is. You can see completely different with Alphabet, company A on the left side. It is more slim margin, but try to grow, try to be better, and try to prepare for the future investment. AMD, very interesting. Oi choose seek. Can you unmute yourself? And other members, would you kindly identify your ideas? Thank you. Oi, can you unmute yourself and explain?
I this AMD and also about the profit margin for the past 1 year. It seems that the AMD is not do very good. So I just my guess.
Yeah, but good challenge, good challenge. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, next came from Timmy. You wrote Panasonic. What makes you think this is Panasonic?
To be honest, it's a random guess, but it comes from seeing how the company is much smaller than company A so I could doubt it would be like a US company. And you did say it was a manufacturing company, so it's have to be producing products, but then it does not mention AI. So I doubt it's in the tech industry, like tech or networking industry, because that would be a bit too big for the company's
Yeah.
cash flow as well. And it did mention debt, so for some reason Panasonic comes to mind, or something like electronic manufacturer comes to mind.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Are there any other ideas? I know this is not easy, but 62.8 billion of revenue is not small, to be honest. Actually, it's not small. Yeah. Ah, Mark, what makes you think Mercy? Can you speak, Mark? Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear now.
It's actually Merck, MERCK, but the spell is
Merck.
Merck,
Okay.
Semiconductor Solutions.
Okay. Okay, good. What makes you think that company? I guess.
It's just a lucky guess, a wild
Okay.
guess.
Good. Thank you very much. Very much. Thank you. But at least, you know, we haven't studied about, you know, accounting at this moment, but we are very close because the answer of A is Alphabet, Google, and B is Panasonic. Congratulations, Timmy. And nothing right or wrong on this as well. But the most important point is that without like learning accounting, we can still identify the characteristics of the company by utilizing these accounting numbers. These are the things which GLOBIS does. It doesn't go to the details, but try to grasp the understanding and do some discussion is something, because that is more easier for you to get in touch and understand what can we absorb from the numbers. Now, let me finally conclude the accounting discussion with one more topic, which is a very important topic, meaning cash is a fact, profit is an opinion. And let me use the real case of one company, legendary company in Japan called Toshiba. And I believe many of you know the name of Toshiba. But before going to that, I found that both you are raising your hand. Do you have a question or something?
Yes, sorry. Before we go to the next
Yes. No worries.
topic, I would like to ask, for company B, you said like you look at what is the first one again? Profit loss. Yeah, profit and loss statement, and you say like this must be a manufacturer type of company.
Yes.
I wonder how you come to that conclusion in
Good.
this.
Thank you very much. In the IT digital electronics industry, it will be divided into two areas. Number one are usual manufacturers. And because manufacturers in IT or digital manufacturers, the competition is very severe because there are Japanese companies, Chinese companies, Korean companies, and US companies, European companies, and they are really competing each other and cutting their profitability by competition. However, the platform companies, so to say, platform companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, or Meta, these companies are enjoying the very big profitability because there are very few competitors. And it has become so large and playing a kind of a dominating position. And that is why we can anticipate this is manufacturer, this is platform company. Both. Am I answering your question?
Yes. So basically, you by knowing the current market of the IT industry.
Exactly.
So we can derive that, okay, if the company is losing profit margin at this point in time, then basically it's manufacturer, something like that.
Yeah. Or if I may say, the slim profit margin comes from more competitive market. not
Okay.
simply manufacturer, competitive market. That is more generally more right answer. Okay, good. Now, let's go to the next topic. I would like to share you the real data. In 2015, Toshiba announced that they found accounting fraud and they completely recalculated their financial statements from 2009 to 2014. And this is actually showing how the sales before and after, how the operating profit before and after the accounting fraud and revision, net profit before and after in each of the years. And please take a look at this sheet. Now, very important topic is that net profit in 2011, they announced it is 70.1 billion yen profit, but after the revision, they found that they were cheating 97%, and they revised their net profit to 3.2 from 70.1. You can see that the sales itself did not change. It was about how to register the cost part. Now, next year as well, they announced the profitability to be 77.4, but after the revision, it was 13.4. Actually, it was cheating for 64 billion yen. Now, interesting thing is that when you look at the cash flow statement, you can see that each year the difference is very, very small. And if you are investor, not only looking at the net profit, but also watching at the cash flow, you should feel something wrong is happening, because this company announced that big net profit, but negative of cash flow, and it continues 2 consecutive years. Now, if the investors are holistically watching, they should be feeling something wrong is happening. But the reality is that in total from 2008 to 2013, this company cheated for 155 billion yen. Now it is actually the cash flow was not different. Now, after this, Toshiba has been completely restructured and now revitalized. And actually, CEO is Taro Shimada-san is always coming to GLOBIS and helping GLOBIS students at the same time. And he runs the company very well. He joined in 2020, but we are very close, and we learn from these kind of experiences that these legendary company also make some kind of frauds. And this is something that in this section, I would like to explain strongly that cash flow is always more reliable than profit and loss statement. And why and how is something that we will be learning at GLOBIS when you join our GLOBIS class. And how to detect these kind of frauds is something that you can also learn from the classes. Now, if I may summarize this, cash flows are not affected by selection in accounting methods and is therefore objective. So even utilizing numbers, there are differences on objectivities by utilizing different statements. And these are something that you will also be learning when you learn about accounting. Now, let's go to finance in the remaining 40 minutes. We need to recognize that M&A has been growing continuously. And you can see how much growth you can see in M&A world. The scale itself is also becoming very large. When you look at the M&A since in the last 10 years, Dow Chemical DuPont was $130 billion M&A investment. You can see 121 billion AT&T Time Warner merger, or other SAB Miller merger, big merger, more than $100 billion, is now becoming more like often. Now, another thing we also need to understand is that there are losses from the big mergers at the same time. These are the listed loss of mergers. And apologies that these are old mergers, but it takes more than a decade to realize the real big loss. And for example, Time Warner and American Online merger in 2001 actually come to a loss of $65 billion. Daimler and Chrysler estimated loss of $36 billion. There are many, many losses in M&As at the same time. While there are many large M&As. So my question here is why this happens? I would like to let you think that here, just like GLOBIS class, by separating into breakout sessions, and I would like you to discuss, it is said that in many cases of M&A failure, the acquisition price was too high, the pricing error. Why does this happen? When the company tries to buy other company, they do, obviously, the evaluation, but they tend to make mistake. They tend to pay too high. And I would like you to discuss in discussion group why this happens. Now, in a minute, there will be a breakout session notification will come up. But if you have a problem, don't hesitate to push this Ask for Help button. And in 8 minutes, they will be popping up this button. Breakout rooms will be closed in 60 seconds. You don't actually says that this click to exit the breakout room, but actually you don't need to click. You just stay there because you have 60 seconds to still discuss. So leave this button and continue the discussion, and you will be automatically returning back in 8 + 1 minute. So please return back to let's go to the breakout session. There will be facilitator there. Machiko or Patty will be your facilitator. So please feel free to share your thoughts. Why this kind of M&A failures happen caused by overpricing of the company. Okay. So let's get started for a breakout session. Can Machiko start the breakout session? Thank you.
Hello สวัสดีค่ะ Hello everyone we are the same team same group our group is A team so I would like to share the slide everyone see my slide right ทุกคนเห็นสไลด์แพทไหมคะ Hello anyone can speak up with me
เห็นครับ
เห็นค่ะโอเคขอบคุณค่ะโอเคค่ะก็จะมาดิสคัสกันนะคะ topic ก็คือ is it said that in many cases of M&A ก็คือ merger and acquisition เนี่ย failure the acquisition price was too high why does this happen ช่วยกันแชร์ค่ะ มีใครอยากแชร์ไหมคะ
Type or speak. Type or speak the answer.
Hyper
Type the answer or speak the answer.
Speak the answer and I will take a note for all of you and then when discussion finish we will find who would like to be the group representative to present when we get back to the class maybe Satoshi will ask the representative to present how we discuss and what is the conclusion of our group why does this happen ทุกคนช่วยกันแชร์ได้เลยค่ะเดี๋ยวแพทจะเทคโนตไว้ให้ว่าเหมือนมีใครแชร์อะไรบ้างแล้วก็เดี๋ยวตอนถ้าซาโตชิถามเรื่องแบบ why does this happen นะคะก็เดี๋ยวอาจจะแบบมีตัวแทนตอบหรือใครอยากจะ or anyone would like to speak up when Satoshi asks, you can raise your hand. Anyone have an idea? Timmy ได้ไหมคะ Mark please.
So these big multi-billion dollar mergers and acquisitions are
Failure.
they're only one country or between different countries?
Normal in the world, in every country. Just guess.
No, like, are we talking about a Japanese company merging with a Japanese company, or an American company with an American company, or do you see what I mean?
Yes. Maybe any company.
Okay.
Okay. In normally, M&A deals often fail because the acquirer pay too high price or something like that, or over synergy, or something like competitive pressure.
Greed.
Something like that.
Greed. Greed.
Greed. Okay. Okay. I will greed. Okay. Mark. Like this.
Yes.
How about fear of missing out?
Yeah. Okay. FO. Fear of missing. FOMO, right?
ครับ
Catchy word. Very popular word right now นะ Okay. Anyone? คุณเบนซ์คุณปลายฟ้า หรือคุณเจมมีอะไรจะแชร์ไหมคะ เหมือนว่าทำไมแบบควบรวมกิจการทำไมมันถึงแบบล้มเหลว เพราะว่าเหมือนคิดว่าบริษัทมันควบแบบหวังสูงเกินไปไหมหรืออะไรอย่างเงี้ยค่ะ
ครับ
จ่า
ผ
ย
ม
แพ
ต
ง
อบว่า
ค่ะ
ประเมินสูงเกินไปครับ
ประเมิน
overestimated
โอเค overestimated เมื่อกี้ใครพูดนะคะ ใครตอบ
กดหา
overestimate
KOCHI ฮะ
คุณฝนเหรอคะ
โคชิฮะโคชิ
อ๋อ โคชิ อ๋อ โอเค
So he's saying overestimate, overpaying due to over optimistic projections.
Yes. Everyone can discuss together. I just like take a note for all of you.
Okay, this is James. My opinion is like maybe survivability. Some big company when they're taking over to another company, so they may invest a lot of money in order to survive in that business. So that's why the price is high sometimes.
So over or the price may be too high.
Yeah, it's like the one business that they need some money. So when they merge together, for example, company A must spend more, like spend too much money in order to how to say to combine the company and then survive into the business, something like that.
Spend more money.
Yep.
To buy.
To survive in that business.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hello, this is Poom. I think one of the reasons that the merger and acquisition fails is it's because the company who bought another company, the buyer, they didn't exactly an expert on the area that the company that they bought is running in. Yeah, not an expert in that field.
Like
So, for example, if I remember correctly, Google bought Motorola. I mean, Google is the software company and Motorola is more like a hardware company. There are different business models and everything. So I think maybe about the management problems. Yeah.
เหมือนไม่รู้จริงใช่ไหมคะ lack of information something like that
ใช่ครับก็
เออ
ประมาณนั้นนะครับ เหมือนว่าแบบไม่เชี่ยวชาญในธุรกิจที่ตัวเองไปซื้อมาครับ
lack of
experience to run
the business
yes อืม
ประมาณนี้เลยค่ะทุกคนมีใคร แชร์หรือดิสคัสกันได้เลยนะคะ
สวัสดีค่ะ this is Am. So for my opinion, another factor is the bidding competition. I think like when many companies want to buy like the same target, the famous company, so the competition like push the price higher than like the company real value ค่ะ So maybe like sometimes the buyer also like make mistake in valuing the business ค่ะ
Thank you so much bidding war market pressure something like that
Yes
yeah
Talent loss.
again please Mark
Talent loss, like
talent loss
key employees leave.
Welcome back,
Recording in
everyone.
progress.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for working very hard. I was watching the screen of each of the groups, so seems to be very active discussion. Thank you very much, everyone, returning back. Thank you for your great work. Now, I would like to have Team Machiko to share what has been discussed. So can Machiko share the screen and designate somebody to represent the team? Machiko, can you unmute yourself?
Sorry, I asked Amol-san to share what we have discussed.
So we have discussed the following points. Oi mentioned the point, which is very good point, that assumption of the evaluations was too optimistic, and the parameters for due diligence was not enough, so that the data provided was not true. So that's why the value of the M&A at the initial was very high. And also the Ken-san mentioned that the elimination of competition. So that's the main motive of behind this M&A, where they need to that lead to overpaying, although they know that we are paying over, but at the end they want to eliminate the competition also. So it's a calculated risk sometime also. Borsan mentioned that in long-term vision, they thought that it's good to pay and to compete with the competitor side also. Myself mentioned that the valuations of assets too high, and sometimes they have some optimism that okay, over a period of time this technology may work out, but eventually it didn't work. So those are the assets, means those are the losses accumulated over a period, and we found that it's a loss. Then Jetsan also mentioned that besides A2A sharing and the benchmark is not clearly there, so that's why the valuation was not correctly made. So that was of our initial discussions.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I know that there was a great discussion in team one, room one as well, but because of the management of time. But we do have many this kind of discussion opportunities, a more smaller group, usually like in group of 3 to 4. And we are sharing each other in the class. That is what will happen in the real class. So not this much of people, group of 3 to 4, we need to discuss. That is how our class works. Now, Let me move forward and share you some information about the topic we have been discussing about. I think you are now coming to see a pretty interesting chart which has been created by a consulting firm which actually I was working for. Now, when you look at the entire M&As in United States, then what we can see is that only 42% of the M&A records are showing positive results, and 58% of the M&As are actually becoming less successful. Now, it will be very important to clarify what is success mean. And this is what the stock price of the merged company is going to be higher than the industry average of stock price. So there will be different types of the definition of success, but if we assume that if you outperform the index of the industry of stock price index of the industry, it will be successful. And you can see that 10% plus 21, only 21% were what we call top performers. But again, more serious thing is that when the company announces M&A, now automatically 58% of failure rate is now being given. That is what we can see from the statistics. Now, it doesn't mean that this applies to every company, because there are so good M&A companies which actually has the record of 96 M&As in the last 20 years, and the 96 times it outperformed the market. So there are companies which has 100% success ratio, and they are not, and the total is like this. And in GLOBIS, we will be learning how these kind of great result is being happened. But let me a little bit add one more information. So this again, A.T. Kearney consulting firm also conducted some interviews to the CXOs, asking which part of M&A is most risky, and assume the number one is strategy formulation and candidate selection and valuation. Second is negotiation. Third is post-merger integration. With this result, what comes is that many CEOs understand that this half of the risk resides in the what we call post-merger integration, PMI. But at the same time, 30% says the valuation is very risky. Now, if we focus on this area, that the pricing failure because the pricing was too expensive for acquisition, we can divide into the cause analysis. Number one, it was overpriced at the beginning. Number two, too expensive as a result, right? Now, overpriced at the beginning this is actually connected with the valuation area. This is what we are going to learn at accounting and finance classes at GLOBIS. How to avoid the overpriced at the beginning, how to avoid the mispricing, how to avoid too optimistic forecast, how to avoid serious oversight. These are the things that you will be learning at finance class, accounting class, actually finance class. And too expensive as a result. This actually comes to post-merger integration. After the merger, drastic change happened in the market, or competitive environment completely changed, or after the acquisition, there was lack of management competence or inadequate internal systems. These could be taught at what we call financial reorganization class at GLOBIS MBA. And actually, I myself teach both classes. To be honest, this financial reorganization class was initially created by Satoshi myself. I created this class, and because I was engaged in so many M&As, and I know pretty much about why this kind of incident happens. So If you come to GLOBIS, you'll be understanding how to avoid failures in M&A from both the pre-merger and post-merger stage in the M&A process by the practitioners like myself, not only me, but like myself. One thing to finally ask one question. So if the company made a big M&A and announced that there was a significant oversight and they needed to announce a big loss, what are the consequences of failure? Meaning, what kind of action does company take after announcing this big mistake? Can somebody type in by chat? Again, no simple right answer. You can write anything. What will happen after the failure of M&A? Can somebody type in? Anything could happen. Stock price drops. Exactly. But internally in the company, what does company do? Lawsuits. Actually, depends on the situation, because usually before the merger, you need to conduct like due diligence, and during that you need to sign that we got all the information. But again, it could happen. But more internally, if you announce a big loss, you need to like reduce the impact. Eventual liquidation in worst case. Corona, you are going to a little bit of extreme, but it's okay. Yes, eventually that will happen. But before that, yes, restructure. And restructure, what does happen? Amol, you wrote restructuring. PR damage control, Mark, pretty much. But you need to reduce the cost base. And to do that, what would happen? To reduce the cost, what needs to happen? Lay off. Yes, Oi, thank you very much. You hit the right point. And my question is, when you conduct layoff, for example, are those people being cut, are those who actually decided on the M&A? Yes or no? Usually, people are not only those who made the M&A decisions, it's those people in the forefront of business. What I want to explain here is that I have actually observed 2 corporate bailouts, and I was corporate turnaround officer. And what I would like to say is that big management decision mistake is affecting to the life of the staffs and their staff's family. And one of the core reasons why I am teaching at GLOBIS is that I really want to help everyone who are going to become future business leaders do not make big mistake and make staffs and their families unhappy. Because I have seen so many people in forefront of the business become so unfortunate and losing their daily life, ordinary life, because of the bad managerial decision. And that is my main message for those who want to pursue for a management role and also who want to make the right managerial decision to make the staff and their family happy. Let's study together. GLOBIS is a place where we will help you become a good executive who will help and make the staffs and their family happy. Right? It is not for money. It is not for fame. But eventually, if you pursue the right direction, conclusion is you will be promoted and you will get big money. But money and fame is not an objective. It is a consequence. So, avoiding incorrect M&A pricing or investment decision, you need to learn how to correctly calculate the value of the business. That is why you need to learn finance. So in the remaining 15 minutes, let me a little bit explain how to evaluate the value of the company. And again, this is something that I'll be teaching at day 1 and day 2 of finance class. So no need to be perfectly understand at all, because this is something you'll be learning at finance class. at January. There are 3 methods of measuring values. I would like to start from this very basic point. Number 1, to evaluate the value of the company or the business, calculate based on the cost at the time of acquisition. This is what we call historical cost method. Number 2, appraise by similar comparable transactions. This is what we call market method. Number 3, calculate value based on future projected cash income, value you would create in the future. This is what we call discount cash flow, DCF method. Now, this is difficult. So let me use a more easy analogy. So I would like you to focus from there. Number 1, let's assume that we are willing to identify the salary of a person we want to newly recruit. Okay, we want to identify the salary. We are going to write an offer sheet for a person. Like we are writing an offer sheet for example, Amol. Amol is looking for a job, and we are now offering a salary. Okay, first method, historical cost method, is understand about the cost of living of Amol. How much he uses for the breakfast, lunch, dinner, electricity, utility cost, added all of them, multiplies 1.2 times or 1.5 times, and calculate the offer. This is the first methodology. Okay. Second methodology. Allow me to use Amol's name. Apologies, because I see your face. Sorry, I'm using your name. So to evaluate Amol's salary, let's find a similar person who has similar experience and like the performance with Amol. Let's assume this is like Ken. Then, if we know Ken's salary, let's refer and use that for Amol's salary price. This is the second approach. Okay? Please think which is better, number 1 or number 2. Now, number 3. We are expecting Amol to make a great contribution after he joins our organization. Let's calculate for the next 5 years performance of Amol and identify the salary, reasonable salary, from the forecast of his 5 years performance of when he joins the company. Now, if we are offering the salary for Amol, which methodology as an HR of a company offering the price wants to use? Number 1, historical price. Number 2, market method. Number 3, future calculation. Please type in chat if we are the person who will be offering the person. Which methodology do you think would be the best methodology? Either 1, 2, or 3. Please type in anything. Again, I won't be asking somebody at all this time. No worries. Please type in which is better. 1, 1. Yeah, from the, I would say, conservative point of view, if HR wants to offer conservative price, it would be 1. And if you want to have a realistic price, it would be 2, right? So it's a mix of, mix of all. I understand, but let's assume this is a game. Okay, this is a game. So let's pick one. Okay? Let's go to extreme. Okay. But there are 3s, but 1 is the most, and they are coming a little bit of 2, right? Good. Thank you very much. And Ken Tanapach, you wrote 1. Now, let's stop here. Now, if we are on the side of Amol, we want to increase our salary as much as possible. If that is the case, which methodology you prefer to be used is my next question. 1 or 2 or 3. If you want higher price and you're on the seller side this time, initially the HR is a buyer side who wants to be more realistic and more conservative. Now, If you are the seller side, meaning you have enormous like hope and you want to sell high. Okay, everybody now writing 3, but I want to listen to everybody. Please type in anything. Okay. Everybody types in 3. Pumi types 2. So you see this difference, right? Thank you very much. So the point is, from the perspective of buyer and seller, from the perspective of for those who are willing to have an offer or who is bringing an offer, the methodology would be, preferred methodology will be different. And that is why in the M&A, buyer price and seller price will be completely different. There is no single one price. And in those variance difference, we need to come to a conclusion by negotiation. So we tend to believe that there's only one price in one product, right? In ordinary, right? But we now see that we have multiple values. We have multiple price even in one person. This time we are talking about a mole salary, but there are methodology that people talking number 1 is better, number 2 is better, and complete number 3 is better for a offer side, seller side. This is a magic and fun of finance. And when you are going to go to the M&A world, it is very important to be able to use number 2 and number 3. And that is why in the first 4 days, you will learn about number 3. And in the remaining 2 days, you will learn about number 2. That is how the finance class is structured. Now, in the remaining 5-10 minutes, let me little bit introduce how to conduct the DCF method. But this is actually like a prep part for the day 1 class of January class. So no worry to be perfect at all. Just have fun and listen, please. Okay? To understand M&A activities, it is essential to understand DCF methods. Now, there are 4 concepts to understand DCF methods. Now we are really deeping into finance, but no worries, it won't be too much deep. One thing is cash flow. First concept needed is cash flow. Number 2, time value of money. Number 3, discount rate. Number 4, present value. No worries, I will be teaching you in January class. But let me ask one question on this topic. Question from Satoshi. If you had the choice between receiving $100 today and receiving $100 5 years from now, which would you choose? Which would you choose? Now, $100 now, or $100 5 years from now? Which do you prefer? Please type in chat. Thank you. It seems that nobody believes that I will be giving you $100 even 5 years later. Please believe me. But still, everybody thinks today is important, right? Does anybody want to answer why this works? Why this works? Bent, can you unmute yourself? Explain why you selected today. Bent, please. Can you unmute yourself, Bent Stalok? If not, it's okay. If not, it is okay. I know this is a difficult and first time trial class. Then should we go to Boat? Boat, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. To my understanding, it's like the $100 today is well, if I get $100 today, then it's $100. But I can do something with it right now. I don't know what's gonna happen in 5 years, but I can do something with it right now, something like that.
Okay, well, you may lose money by making a wrong gamble, but still you have an option to do from now, right? And yeah, thank you very much. I know I don't have time, but Ken Korana-san wrote that because cash is king, and 5 years later with inflation, etc. Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you. You are correct. Now, these are the concepts of what we are going to learn, that receiving $100 today is important. Why this is important? Because $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. That is the key concept of finance. If we assume interest rate of 5%, today's $100 is $128 5 years from now. And $100 5 years from now is actually $78 now. Now, this value today is what we call present value. And what $128 or $100 is called future value. And this is what we call discount rate. How to calculate them? There are formula, but no worries at all. You will be learning at January class. And it is not that difficult. It's super simple. And this 5% is what we call discount rate. What kind of value? What kind of meaning? What does this mean for us by calculating that? Actually, this will help us decide whether to invest or not by the calculation, which I'll be showing later on. We can decide to proceed with the investment, or we can decide not to go with the investment by utilizing this mathematical formula. How to do that? Example of DCF method is that if we have year 1, year 0, initial investment of 40, for example, then let's assume we will conduct, as a result of the investment, we will be receiving $10, $12, $8, $13, $15 at each respective year of year 1 to year 5. If the discount rate is 10%, no worries to understand here, but in the formula, calculating the net present value, meaning the present value of these 5 cash flow, we can determine that with this $40 investment, we can receive $43 worth of present value, meaning that making this investment is increasing using 40, receiving 43 in present, meaning the net value created is $3.21. This is adding the value of the company. This investment is adding the value of the company. This is something that you will learn from finance class. Now, what you can do with this, how you calculate is 43.21. This is the present value minus 40 initial, and you can see the net value created is $3.21. Now, because we are running out of time, let me do it very simple. All this concept can be used in a discussion like this. A company A, battery manufacturer, is considering to develop state-of-the-art plant for new electric vehicles. Initial investment is $70 million in the first year, expected to generate $50 million for the next 7 years on a net basis after deducting costs. Discount rate of 10% should company A build the plant. This is real like case discussion. How to calculate is that you have initial investment of 70. Now, expected future cash flow is $15 million from year 1 to year 7. Discount rate is 10%. If that is the case, initial investment of 70, or the present value of these 7 cash flow is 56.86, meaning you invest 70 and the future investment returns present value is 56.86, meaning the net value created by investment is 56.86 minus 70, meaning negative of 13.14 million. Question: is this go or no go for the investment? Please type in. Is this go or no go? Ken Krono-san, thank you very much for typing in. Thank you very much. Yes, 2 people wrote. Yeah, maybe all of you are becoming tired. Apologies about that. But this is clearly no go. So finally, my ask comments to Ken. Ken-san, can you unmute yourself and explain why this is not a good investment?
Because inflation and so on, that means at the end you're getting less value than the purchasing value of that amount will become less. But again, I think if we look into the future prospects of the company, the long term, it may be worth thinking more deeper about it.
Yes, thank you so much, Ken. Thank you so much. That is how we cope with this discussion, how we make this investment positive is what we are going to discuss at finance class in January. So this is showing that with this initial statement, this is destroying the value of the company for 13.40 million, but how should we resolve is what we are going to discuss at the practical discussion at finance class in Bangkok in January term. Okay, so with this method, company will be able to make the right M&A at the right price, or you will be able to make more rational decision in your life. And in GLOBIS class, you will be learning some of the catastrophic result of the big investment, and we will calculate how it was calculated in the initial investment phase, and we will detect that management was acknowledging that this could be a big loss, but they couldn't stop their decision. And we will discuss why they couldn't stop the decision. It is not simply finance calculation, it is more organizational or cultural discussion as well. But to do that, number will really help you understand the meaning of such kind of difficult decisions. Now, I won't go too much because we are running out of time, but I would like to conclude some interesting point what is happening in the recent current market by showing you the recent number in the market. These are the market capitalization of the top 6 companies in United States. Market cap is a value of the company, value of a company. And you can see that NVIDIA's value is $4.2 trillion. Microsoft is $3.8 trillion. Even with this NVIDIA itself, it is larger than the GDP of Japan, which is the 3rd largest economy in the world. And if you add Microsoft and NVIDIA, it is larger than the 2nd largest GDP in the world, which is China. Corporate value is now exceeding the value of the country is what is something happening at this moment. These are the companies which are what we call platform companies. This is a semiconductor company, so this is the 5 platform companies. If you look at these 5 companies, it is actually occupying 21.7% of the total value in the market of 6,000 publicly traded companies in the United States. Meaning that if we add those top 6, only 0.1% of the number of the company accounts for 28.3% of the value of the company, or value of the entire economy. Something very weird is happening at this moment. Very weird. Only 0.1% of the company represents almost 30% of the entire value in the stock market. Very profound professor is now claiming that financial reports are not useful for capital market decision making. Accounting profits are practically meaningless for a digital company. Well, there is innovation or disruption. To be honest, there is also a great opportunity. The key to success is never stop learning and challenging at the MBA, providing you the right skill set. Now, in GLOBIS class, we will be helping you understand how to evaluate these companies. And this needs different methodology. And finance is continuously evolving. You need to come to learn not the traditional school, but the school which provides this kind of new innovative methodologies. Why GLOBIS can do that? Because GLOBIS owns the largest venture capital arm in Japan. And I myself is also investment advisory board member of this largest venture capital arm in Japan. And we do these kind of calculation for those AI related companies, platform companies. These are not simply in the textbook now. And that is why I think current era in the technology and innovation is so penetrating. That is why GLOBIS is becoming the largest MBA in Asia, and we are now pursuing to be the top business school in the world by providing you the latest new technologies, new framework of finance to be able to cope in the new world with many innovation and disruption. Let me pass this slide because we are running out of time. Apologies. Gomenasai. And I'll be passing there here. Let me conclude in a couple of more slides. GLOBIS is extremely unique because we provide practical business knowledge, not just theory. And our curriculum connects technology and business. As I mentioned, we have the largest venture capital firm in Japan, and we have clear understanding about the top tech companies. And also, we are helping you identify your kokorozashi, which is sense of missions in your mind. And we also, I didn't talk too much here today, but we invested the company started up by the students and graduates. We are very unique, and we believe we will be helping you to be a good leader in the AI era. So I would like to conclude here today, but I really appreciate your feedback. This is the questionnaire to write down your most important takeaway. So I really appreciate your feedback, but allow me to comment one more thing. Now, in the world of AI, I believe there are 3 things that human being can still be better than AI. Number one, decision making. AI can give you some options and recommendations, but they don't take responsibility. They can't make final decisions. Number 2, they can't make decisions based on values. What kind of value? Long-term value, short-term value, SDG value, these kind of things. They can provide you idea, but again, they can't make decisions based on values. Finally, AI doesn't have sense of mission, kokorozashi. If you ask to AI, what is your kokorozashi? What is your sense of mission? I think he or she can't answer. So my recommendation is, let's focus on what AI can do. Let's decide to learn in a place where AI can provide. And hopefully, I would like to create GLOBIS is the place that the people who will be successful in the AI era will be able to learn and earn skill set, earn confidence. So I will stop here. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening. I hope it was a little bit, hopefully it was helpful. And I really wish we will be meeting with all of you in January. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'll be staying here. So if you have any questions later on, I'll be very happy to answer. So giving you back to Machiko. Thank you.
So Patty, are you okay?
Hello, thank you everyone นะคะ ขอบคุณมากๆเลยนะคะที่join trial class ด้วยกันวันนี้ค่ะ อย่างที่บอกนะคะว่าเดี๋ยวเรามี questionnaire นะคะ ก็สามารถเข้าไปคอมเมนต์นะคะ หรือว่าให้คำแนะนำได้ค่ะ เกี่ยวกับ questionnaire ของเราในวันนี้ค่ะ Okay, all right, thank you.